not Memorex. For anybody who gets that old joke. He gets it. All right, so good evening, everybody. Happy Labor Day. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hopefully everybody had an opportunity to
Recording in progress.
dive into a nice barbecue like I did last night. I got enough steak tips to last me the rest of the week. I'm going to be having steak tip subs all week. It's awesome. But anyways, tonight being the Master Plan Committee meeting, September 3rd, 2024. Tonight's meeting will be held at the Municipal Building on the Town Council Chambers here on the second floor at 355 East Central Street while it's being renovated. 6:30 p.m. A note to residents: all citizens are welcome to attend public board and committee meetings in person, and the meetings will also be live streamed by Franklin TV. Recordings of the meetings are available on Franklin TV's Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel. And additionally, in an effort to maximize citizen engagement opportunities, citizens will be able to continue to participate remotely via phone or Zoom. A link to access tonight's meeting is on the agenda. Copy and paste the URL into your browser, and then the call-in number for tonight is 1-929-205-6099, and then enter the meeting ID 824-05-11-6369, and then press pound. That number again is 1-929-205-6099, and enter the meeting ID 824-05-11-6369, and then press pound. Okay, so we've got a few things on our list for tonight. The first thing on is I need a majority approval for meeting minutes, and I need a motion to approve the minutes for June 24th. I'm just going to do a bulk approval. July 10th, July 24th, and August 21st's meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Bruce,
Yes.
Gino,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Janelle,
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
I see Jen's online tonight. Jen?
Yes. Yes.
Joe's online.
Yeah.
I forgot, Bruce was online too. Kobe,
Yeah.
clerk, yes. Chair,
Yes.
okay. Unanimous.
Cool. Thank you guys for approving the minutes. The next thing on our agenda for tonight, item number 2, finalize the implementation plan. This is actually to review the portion of the implementation plan to which is going to be heading out to the various departments for review. I've spoken with the town administrator, and I'm going to pass this off to Amy in a second, but they have specifically from tonight, the 3rd, technically tomorrow, the 4th, until, I believe, Amy, if I'm correct, we said the 28th was going to be their last?
7th. 27th.
27th. Thank you, 27th. Amy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I know that subcommittee's working really hard and updating the documents. Dana and Barrett's been checking in as well. I think for tonight, there's a little bit concerned that I know the staff wants some time to look at it, although they only need to look at their portions of the plan. I think the bigger part of the plan is Kobe's subcommittee dealing with the circulation facilities, so he's dealing with a couple different departments, but I think a lot of the other ones are really only dealing with 1 or 2 departments to get through the information. I know our goal was to have all comments back to review at our next meeting on October 2nd. So as soon as we can get this out to staff, it would be great. I think for tonight, what we look at as, is there any outstanding questions that any of the subcommittees might have, or they feel comfortable with it going to staff? It's a draft, it's not perfect. I think it's going to be a lot of feedback from staff. We're going to have a form on, I think I just forwarded it at 6 o'clock tonight, that will go out to all the staff members to fill out that form with their comments, to include the page number, to include the item number, to include the comment they have, and if there's any recommended changes to that. And then that will come back to the subcommittees to go over what the comments are, some might be adjusted, some might be accepted, some may not be accepted. I think just our goal tonight is to know from each subcommittee where they stand, to get the document out. It doesn't mean you can't meet in between and have some recommendations. It's
Yep.
what we will do is I will put the document in a PDF format to submit to staff, so they will not be editing it on the drive. So
Right.
we'll go to them directly in a PDF. They will get separate Word document or PDF document that they will put their comments into. So the document will not be edited while it's in the staff's hands. Subcommittees are more than welcome to still meet if they feel they want to, or they want to wait the comments to come back as well. So each of the subcommittees. But I think tonight, just hearing from each subcommittee it's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And there was any outstanding questions.
I'll take it to the subcommittee chairs in just a second, but just to make everyone clear, what Amy's referring to is in an email she just sent you called the Comments Resolution Matrix. It is a form sent over to us from Jill from over Barrett. It's just for your viewing pleasure. That's the document that the departments are going to receive and ultimately get their feedback on. Now, Amy, just for clarification, since they are getting just a PDF version and not an editable page like we've been doing, who's going to be the transposing? Is that you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll cross-gather all the feedback that'll come to me that I will collate and get out to all the subcommittees
Okay.
once we receive the documents back.
Okay. Now, the transposition of their comments into a new document, is that going to go to what will be an editable document that we can see?
Yeah, I think, I'm open to any feedback from the committee as well. I think that all that feedback is going to go to each subcommittee.
Okay.
And they're going to look at all the feedback and decide to go back into the implementation document and update it. I wasn't going to put on me because I don't know what each subcommittee and the comments that will come back. So I think
Okay.
it's going to be a lot of reviewing by the subcommittees, deciding on what comments they want to accept and what comments they want to change or not accept. So it will go back to, I'll collate, put it back directly to the subcommittees to review.
Now, just one comment from myself before I pass it up to the chairs. The feedback that we get from the departments, it's all going to be very helpful information, very poignant information that we are going to need to take seriously. But let's say, for instance, the DPW says, well, that goal of having a bus, I'll use that as an example, that seems like a really lofty goal that we think is too expensive and not really doable. We don't necessarily have to take their feedback, if you follow me. We can still, because the majority of what we've done so far is public input. And that's really what this boils down to. What does the public want to see? What type of goals do we think that the town can achieve in the next 10 or 15 years? And what ultimately was the public trying to have us achieve? So if the departments come back and say, well, we think that's completely ridiculous, that doesn't mean it's automatically taken off the plate. It can be edited, it can be tweaked, it can be refined, and then maybe even sent back to the departments. We're working with the department to kind of figure out how to edit that goal so it is an achievable goal. Because ultimately, it's the public that makes these choices. So I think in regards to the chairs, to answer Amy's questions in regards to how you feel things are at with your goals and objectives and implementation plan, I'm actually going to start out tonight with Gina on sustainability.
Usually I'm last.
I know, I'm trying to be fair. and equitable.
Change the direction. I think it's, the sustainability section is fine. One comment I had is that at the last meeting, we talked about the idea of a sustainability coordinator, and it wasn't a specific action item at the time, and I thought the consensus was that it should be or could be. And maybe I misunderstood. I thought that was going to be included in the next iteration of this plan, and it wasn't, and I didn't add it. But with that one exception, I think it's okay. I think we should just add that. And the only other thing is really just a comment, but the timeline column, the, there's just some items need to start now, but takes years to implement, so it's like, I mentioned this last time too, to call it long-term is not really accurate, because something needs to happen soon. I did change a couple of these to immediate as well, but, and I think for the time being, while we're waiting for input from the staff, I think everything is okay the way it is, and then we can get their feedback and see what we might want to change at that time.
Okay. Gino, in regards to Jill's comment that she has over here for goal 2, I believe that would be goal 6, where it says support Massachusetts sustainable development principles by, Jill had asked, are there any specific actions that we can put here? Is there anything you wanted to expand?
Yeah, I don't think that's the most up-to-date
No?
version, because I did add some wording to that.
You did? Oh.
Looking at the
I might-
823 version, right?
I think I'm on the wrong one. Thank you, Kobe. Pointing that to me.
The one other comment, and I did a little bit of this today, but I think, and we talked about this last time as well, but for implementation mechanisms, in where it says grants, when we know of a specific grant that's applicable to that item, I think we should list it. And I've done that to some, but I think there's more that could happen to. Again, the comments from the staff would probably help with that, because they may be more familiar with the grants that might be available for their areas.
Okay. Amy? Anything to add? Okay.
I guess my final question, so, do you know, were you gonna add in that, sustainability coordinator?
I can do that, like,
Okay, yeah,
in the morning,
Okay.
or tonight, whatever,
Yeah.
just, okay.
okay. So if we can, yeah, if you wanna add that in, I think that'd be great.
Just the
Okay.
Barrett one.
So, yeah, just the bear comment. Okay.
I don't know.
Anything else you want to add, Gina?
I think that's it.
Okay. Perfect. Then I will shift it over to Kobe, Community Services, Facilities, and Circulation.
Started as the best committee, continue to be.
Wow.
Feeling great.
Are you guys just going to sit back and let him say these things?
We went
It's
first
just
tonight,
like-
so.
That's true.
I feel as though it's in pretty good shape. The biggest thing that we have to talk about still is public roadways. That's a conversation that needs to be had with DPW. There are a few additions from Gino that I feel comfortable with, although I guess our group technically hasn't all agreed on them. They're pretty minor. And otherwise, I made some amendments in line with the conversations that were had in the last meeting that seem to have a general consensus agreement. So I feel as though they're in pretty good shape for advancing to the departments, recognizing that they're probably the most important ones to be advancing to the departments for feedback. Yeah, I've thoughts on housing and economic development too, but I'll wait until my chair.
We'll cover that when we get to that portion. All right, so you're good on Community Services, Facilities, and Circulation questions? There's nothing else you wanted to add?
Do you feel comfortable it going out to staff?
Right.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if my group, the one intersection that was added was Partridge Street and Beach Street. from Gino as an intersection to be improved for pedestrian safety. I have no qualms with that. And I think, yeah, you had touched implementation. Oh, and you changed Red Brick Schoolhouse to Brick Schoolhouse, which I'll trust you on. Those are the only edits other than what was discussed in the last meeting. So I feel as though it accurately represents our group's feelings.
Excellent. All right, and we'll move over to, excuse me, by the way, to Janelle, land use and zoning.
All right, thank you. Our subcommittee met last Thursday, and we spent a long time going through all the implementation items, reviewing the implementation mechanisms and who's responsible. It mostly lands on the Department of Planning and Community Development taking a first pass, and then going to Planning Board, then to Town Council, and for some type of bylaw change, but not all of them. And so we tried to be thorough with that. We got through most of them, and with the exception of Goals 5, which is more about the Franklin character, and Goal 6, which is about process. And we just called it a night and figured a lot of these are going to be ongoing discussions with Department of Planning and Community Development. So we felt okay for it to go to the staff, even though we didn't reread it and do that last bit of wordsmithing. But the other goals we went through pretty thoroughly.
Excellent. So no, didn't want to do any wordsmithing? You didn't want to get in here and tweak things?
We did a lot.
It looks like you did a lot.
Starting to get bleary-eyed.
I hear
A
you.
lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And please understand, folks, I appreciate everyone's hard work that's going into this. All right, so that moves on. I don't see, I was going to say,
You can see Meg.
Meg in the audience tonight. Is she here? Erin, can you text Meg? See if she's available.
Can I, did you ask?
Yeah, can you text Meg and see if she's available to come on?
I can text her in a few minutes. I'm currently driving home
Oh,
from
yeah,
Black
never
Football.
mind.
I can
don't
text
want you
her.
to- Don't want you to get into
Erin, I'll text her.
Don't text and drive. Public service message.
No, I wasn't gonna go. I was gonna pull up my driveway for yeah.
Erin, this is Mel. I'm texting Meg right now.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, okay, perfect. I do know that she had a soccer coaches training that was supposed to wrap up about now. So
Gotcha.
I'm sure that she'll be on in a few minutes.
Not a worry.
But I think it was supposed to end around.
Yep, no worries. Trust me, I understand. I coached soccer for 10 years. I know the feeling. Kobe played soccer. I don't like it.
I'm sure my dad's at the same train.
With that being said, I'm going to shift it to housing and economic development, to our new chair, Rick. I know you guys met last week. You want to give an update and anything you have about the implementation draft?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you said, we met last Monday. It was me, Kobe, Eric, Joe, and Bruce. I think that was it. And we had a lengthy discussion, went through all the goals, and Kobe and Eric kind of took the initiative and edited most of the goals and
Yep.
added some content to it. So I don't know if you guys can share your input on what you focused on.
Yeah, I think we still need another meeting, essentially. These are not goals that I feel comfortable sharing, but the good thing is it's really just you guys, it's you and Brian. So I think another meeting where we have some agreed upon language, if that's amenable to you, would be quite helpful because they're still in flux, even amongst Eric and I, never mind the group looking at them.
No, I know, I think you're exactly right, Kobe. I think it can go out the way it is. It's a small group of people looking at it. And if you guys want to put together another subcommittee meeting this month, that we could, staff would be there with you, and we could all discuss changes or edits or any, recommendations that come up. I guess on any committee is a little bit working in progress with the staff on that, and that's completely fine. We could do that, so.
That being said, I think they're in much better shape and are looking like,
Mhm.
are approaching some real goals and objectives. So.
I would say you've done a lot of work, that group, at the last meeting. So
Yes.
kudos to everybody
Absolutely.
who did that.
Yeah.
And for the record, added on to the committee, we have Rick and Kobe and Eric joined on, but so did Bruce and Joe to help out as well. So they all
Yeah.
kind of brainstormed everything. And thank you, everybody, on such a short notice compiling what we have for tonight. Rick, would you be willing to put forth a request for another subcommittee meeting
Yeah, I'll put
sometime
a-
within
I'll
the
put a
next week or two?
Couple feelers out for
Okay.
the next week or two.
I appreciate that. And Kobe, like you said, this really is, planning department's
Yeah.
purview when it comes to housing. Amy, is this gonna put you in a bind or a crunch if this is postponed for a couple of weeks?
No, I think it's gonna be part of the staff review process. We'll just be more involved in the subcommittee meeting
Okay.
and provide it directly, and work with the subcommittee.
Perfect.
So, I
That'll be
think
good.
that's fine, we can fit that in.
I received a message from Meg,
Oh.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay. And what did our
Meg Hagan, the chair of the,
open space?
Open Space and Rec and
Yeah,
Natural,
yeah.
Cultural, and Historic
OSR,
Resources
NCIH.
Subcommittee
Yeah.
says that she's happy with the goals as they are and they're ready to go. She's happy to have them go to the staff for comments. I think
That's
we
all
agree.
really- that's all-
We
yeah,
agree?
we're-
Yeah.
we
You agree?
That's fine.
Yeah.
So, perfect. Jeez, that was easy. God bless texts. Okay. So, who's that leave us with? That's everybody. So before I move on, I know I had a gentleman in the audience that had a comment. Did you want to make a comment specific, I believe, to circulation? Is that what you?
No, it's.
If you come to the mic, sir, and just name and address. And thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate
Sure.
it.
Hi, my name
Very
is
cool
Bob
vest.
Hamrick. Been a citizen for 30-plus years. Also a member of the Franklin Bellingham Rails to Trails Committee, which is kind of the reason why I'm here. I read the draft a document and was a little underwhelmed by the committee's realization or lack of realization of the importance of connecting the trail to downtown Franklin. I know, I read the draft, it's on page 17, and it's sort of a one-line item. But I know there's a lot of people working on extending the trail into downtown Franklin. Jeff Roy, Jamie Helen, Jake Auchincloss, a lot of high-level people interested in making that connection. I know many businesses see the opportunity for bringing that connection to downtown Franklin. Some of other committees of other towns, Holliston, for example, has seen a tremendous revitalization of their downtown area because there's a trailhead right there downtown. So as I went through the draft, I just looked at, under downtown revitalization, why not the SNET? Why isn't that there as an important opportunity to bring people downtown? I know improving facades is great, all the other items you have, but I think based on my experience and other areas, by having a connection downtown, you're going to bring people into the downtown area. Under natural, cultural, historic resources, there is a Wadsworth Farm, historic place right on the SNET, Spring Street. So I'm just curious why there's no mention of that in the master plan. Recreation management, we talk about pickleball and soccer enhancements. Why not talk about trail use? And just overall, I just wanted to encourage the other committees, I'm not sure which committee in particular, but I think there's a real opportunity, hopefully in the 10-year plan, to bring that connectivity option to just a higher level, a higher priority within the 10-year plan. I believe the previous 10-year plan emphasized that connectivity. So I just encourage the other committees to think about that, and whether it's proper now to include that. I think I'd like the committee, the various subcommittees, to think about how that might help in various areas. So I appreciate your attention. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yep.
Kobe, did you want to comment on circulation?
Yeah, love Bob, love the Rail Trail Committee. I agree with all the sentiments. Right now, the SNET is talked about in circulation as it relates to expanding recreation. The exact language is of the goal is work with Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation and local and regional organizations to improve and extend in both directions to downtown Franklin and the Blackstone River Greenway, the SNET, Southern New England Trunkline Trail, and connected trail systems, including the possible addition of public bike repair stations. Also include prioritize the construction of a protected shared use path along Cottage Street from Union Street to 140 in anticipation of the SNET extension to Union Street.
Yep.
And then there is a third mention of SNET as it relates to the land use, focusing on the crossing as an opportunity zone. I do think that, I had flagged it before, I do think that it's missing from the land use and recreation, sorry, not the land use, the open space and recreation.
Trails.
Yeah, I think it should be named everywhere and anywhere it can be, but I also feel strongly that the administration and the committee have not and will not forget about the importance of the trail extension.
Janelle, did you want to comment on it in regards to land use and zoning? Think it has any relevance?
Oh, it does. Kobe just mentioned, we do have it as one of our action items,
Okay.
is to focus on the crossing, because the plan is to
Right.
extend the SNET there.
Sir, I think go ahead, sir.
Well, I think my issue was I only saw the draft. Sounds like you guys have made tremendous progress in understanding that importance. So I really appreciate that. Our committee appreciates that, and hopefully we can make that happen.
I think you can also appreciate that from a council level. We've had these discussions on various occasions about, what are our ultimate goals on extending the SNET trail downtown. That would be a keen thing to do, and I truly have a vested interest in making that happen if we can.
Excellent.
So,
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
no?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was thinking maybe it should be in economic development.
That would be a good idea. Do you know anybody from the economic
No,
development?
no, in the master
Housing
plan
equity.
subcommittee.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I wrote that down as something that.
I don't know if I read through it a couple of times. I didn't find it, but that doesn't.
We
I
can-
didn't search
No, it's
for
true.
it.
It's true. We talked
But-
about the downtown, and we need to add discussion of the crossing in particular.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. The more places that we can stress it, the better off we'll be. So, thank you for your time tonight, sir.
it.
No, appreciate you. Awesome. All good stuff. All right. So Rick's going to get a meeting together for the housing, just to kind of get it finalized. Just to ask the members, Joe, Bruce, Eric, Kobe, and Rick, you guys are okay with putting together another meeting to address this? Just want to make sure everyone's on board. All right, I just don't want to overburden everybody. I know it's the beginning of September. Things get kind of crazy, just like it is now with soccer and flag football and school starting up and all that crazy stuff, so I know the feeling. All right, anything else? Amy? Anything else to add?
No, it's great. I thank all the subcommittees. I think you guys have done a great job putting all this together and
Yes.
getting it done, and we'll just be plugging away as staff. Now it's on us. You guys get
Now
a
it's
little
on
bit
you.
of
Now
a
a little
relief.
reprieve.
A little
The
bit of
month of
relief, and I
September
can put it on staff
doesn't come.
to get through all of this. So I appreciate all the hard work that every subcommittee and every member has put into it.
Awesome. Before I bring it back to the board, I want to go out to Zoomland. Erin, do you have anything to add to tonight's discussion?
No, nothing from me.
All right. Jen?
I am here, sorry. I guess my only question is, with any of the groups that are a little behind, is will there be a chance for committee members to review or see any new line items or goals or objectives before it goes to the staff?
It's in the implementation plan.
Or so the goals of any, I guess I'm thinking housing in particular, the goals are set and it's just a matter of developing the implementation side of it? Is that accurate?
These are the implementation. The goals and objectives are incorporated into the draft implementation plan that the department's going to get, and then make it.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying that essentially it's just more details being added to the implementation side, not that anything new from a goals or an objective standpoint is being added. Okay, that's all.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Kobe?
That's all. Thank you.
Is that correct? So, is my understanding that the feedback that we're going to get from the departments could be about the goals, the objectives, or any part of the implementation?
It could be funding, could be whether or not they think it's even feasible.
Right, right. And everything's...
But not specifically changing a goal or an objective, just kind of editing it or meaning, yes.
Okay. They're going to provide commentary on our goals and objectives, how reasonable they are, how they're going to be achieved, whether they would discourage them from being included, and then the groups, the subcommittees, are going to have an opportunity to revise based on that input.
Yes. Or you don't even have to. It's just kind of right. If that answers the question.
And then I think Jen's, about housing and economic development, that one is going to be on a slightly different path in that it will be it'll be revised in process or in coordination with the departments in question.
With the planning department.
Yeah, I guess I just want to make sure that the full master plan committee has a chance to see anything new. That's all. Before I understand that it'll probably be this parallel path of maybe being reviewed with the staff or kind of multiple things happening at the same time just to play a little catch up. But would be good to also see it as a full master plan committee too. But I assume we'll keep sharing sort of live documents along the way.
Yeah,
I guess I'm just looking. Yeah.
We also sorry.
No, go ahead.
We all get to vote on the document post receiving feedback,
on
post
October 2nd.
Subcommittee changes. There's none of this is out of any subcommittee or any committee member's hands.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
I know, as in I'm sharing the same stress about, did I miss my last chance to say some things on some committees, and we have not.
We have not. We have not missed that last opportunity. We will have another opportunity in a month. October 2nd will be our scheduled meeting to review department feedback and discuss these even further. Who else? I got my glasses, I don't see this. That's everybody. Oh, Joe, anything?
I'm all set, everything sounds good.
All right, Bruce? Anything?
Yeah, question, the draft implementation program that's dated 08/23/24, the one that's on the top of the drive. is that up to date, like today, all the changes that were made today by the people who are on the side of the document here?
Amy?
So okay, I believe the one that everyone is, you guys are in the drag, because I was
Yep.
trying, it's MPC working doc dash REV dash, yes,
Yes.
8/23/2024.
Franklin
That's
draft.
the one you said, Bruce, right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at. It was at the
Okay.
top of the drive, but I see a lot of changes have been made over to the right. And, from
Yeah.
different people. And I was just wondering, those are up to date now. They all show up in that document.
Yes,
So if we want to look at the document at any time, it should be up to date as far as today's date or when somebody adds something to it.
correct, with the exception of the housing portion, which is still under review. And other than that, everything else is, because that's what we're voting on tonight, to allow what we have to go forward to the departments.
Okay, now I just want to make sure that we're all looking at the same thing.
Yep, correct, you got the right document. All right. Anyone in council chambers have anything they would need to add? Kobe?
Yeah, what is the best way to provide feedback to subcommittees other than our own?
What's up?
The chair?
Just, yeah, through me. But specific to what? The goal, the current?
Yeah, goals and objectives, things that we think would be worth adding.
Oh,
or considering.
I would go through Amy on anything like that. Because she's making these edits, she's doing this, she's making the changes to the live document.
So I think, are you looking to make changes before this goes out, while it's out, or before or after it comes back to staff?
Before
I
it
guess?
comes back, what's the?
And I know that Gino is adding something either
Yeah.
tonight or tomorrow. Other than that, this document was pretty much gonna go out to staff.
Yeah.
If you wanna continue to make a list of ideas that you have, I would not update the document, I would keep them. You're gonna see, when I'm sending off to staff, you could fill out your own form as well. Subcommittees can do it as well if you come up with ideas while this is going on. But it wouldn't touch the actual draft that ends up going out this week.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question? I mean, other than housing, housing's gonna probably work with staff.
It sounds like write them separately, whether it be in that form or through an email.
Yes.
Don't touch the document.
Right.
Separately, add your thoughts, share them with you,
Mhm.
and that can be.
Yes. Just to avoid.
Does that work?
I think that works, yeah.
I mean, if you have specifically something that you wanna go to staff to, you can do that as well. We may not have the staff feedback yet, and they might not have looked at it yet, that's not what you were
But-
talking about, but, you
Yeah.
know.
Can I ask Kobe a
Yes.
question? Kobe, did you mean, how can you what's the best way to reach out to other subcommittees
Yeah.
about additions?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, we had that one meeting where we talked
Right.
about additions.
Yeah.
I think that there are still things that are missing from other groups that I can either raise after, before we, or, it seems like sooner rather than later is better.
This is
Kobe, if you got any questions, send them to the chair of the committee that you're directing them to. Don't be sending them to the staff, because the staff will see it come from you, and then they'll say, oh, Kobe, we better do what Kobe says, because he's on the council. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You have an undue
I
influence.
think,
I
You
would
have an
definitely,
undue influence over the people.
I think,
I agree with Bruce, but not that reason. I think it's better to send it to the chair of the subcommittee, so then the
Right.
subcommittee chair can
can answer
then
that question.
talk about it within the committee, if it's,
And the
they wanna
committee, and the
have-
committee can vote on it and either
Right.
say yay or nay.
Right, and what I'd like to do, since we still have an open forum tonight, is take that opportunity, if you have a question that you'd like to get answered from any one of the chairs, with the exception of Meg, for tonight, that you'd like to have an answer, so we can kind of move forward with this document tonight. Because ultimately, what I'd like to be able to do is take what we have, with the exception of the housing, Literally print it out, send it off to the department so that they can start to comment on it without us making any further changes after tonight
For the staff.
for the
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah. Most of mine are two, Meg.
Go right ahead. Or, well, unfortunately, next
Right, so,
next time.
She might be zooming in,
Yeah.
7:15, so what is, you have anything else? We could go to
Jen's
Jen.
got her hand up.
Why don't we go to
Jen?
Jen?
Good idea. Jen?
Hey guys, sorry I'm not there and the video's been mostly off. But to Kobe's point, I mean, I think it might be, maybe it's after the staff has given their commentary and everyone's done, including housing and economic development. But is it worth having another discussion as a group to bring up any of those items versus having it be continue to just be sort of sent to subcommittees, or I don't know, I guess opening it up to or through the chair, wondering if that's
Well,
worth
I think,
it.
Jen, to answer your question, I think what would be a logical thing to do is to go through whatever changes you think may need to be made, document them, allow the departments to make their opinions and feedback on what we're going to send them tonight, and then when we come back on September 3rd, that will give us another opportunity to change whatever came up in the 3.5 weeks that we are going to be basically absent. That will allow the subcommittees to meet again, and it will allow us to get any changes that we think documented that we can actually discuss when we come back on September 3rd. Because that will at least allow the departments the 3.5 week window that they have to make their changes based on the document that we're going to present tonight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that we don't want to hold up the staff reviewing this document, but I think, and Kobe, correct me if I'm wrong, to your point, there might be benefit in help filling in the gaps in something that either subcommittees or even the staff or others may have missed. That's the benefit of having this master plan committee, full committee meeting, would be to have those kind of cross-committee conversations in that format. That's all.
There is still always an opportunity for open dialogue between the chairs. If the chair of a committee wants to email the chair of another committee to ask a specific question, they're free to do so. That's not breaking the open meeting law simply because it's just no different than me sitting next to Kobe asking him a question about circulation. It's so long as it doesn't create a forum, and so long as it doesn't create a majority of discussion, it's not breaking any rules. So if people want to discuss this by email, from chair to chair, or even if you guys, I know this sounds a little abstract, but even if you wanted to have a joint subcommittee meeting, if you wanted to have a night where if you had one subcommittee that really either overlaps or conflicts with another subcommittee, to maybe meet up to have a joint subcommittee meeting where you guys can get together and hash out those issues. There is opportunity between now and next month to do that.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah. I just didn't feel it was necessary for us to have a full meeting to basically address what are some minor issues that the subcommittees can fix. All right. Anyone else? Did Meg end up finding her way in?
No.
All right.
Well, we can tell Kobe that we're gonna have a meeting on September 10th. So
Okay.
if you get Meg the questions
Cool.
or the additions by September 10th, we will be able to take them up on the
Yes.
10th.
We have a meeting between 5 and 6 on September 10th. Scheduled. Amy, can you post that? Meg's going to be sending you an email.
Yeah, as soon as I get the agenda, I can.
Yep.
Definitely.
So
Perfect. And Rick's going to be reaching out to the Housing and Economic Development Subcommittee. Perfect. Anything else that anybody else wants to add to our discussion tonight? All right, before
Motion to adjourn.
No, I said before. Before I request a motion to adjourn, I hope everyone takes an opportunity to go down and vote if they haven't had an opportunity to vote. Today's the primary. I was down earlier, bumped into Mel, so. All right. Yeah.
We
With
already
that,
did that, check that off.
with that, Bruce, I'll take it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Roll call.
Bruce,
Undebatable.
Yes.
Gino,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Janelle,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Erin,
Yes.
clerk's yes, vice chair,
Yes.
chair,
Yes. Good night, everybody.
unanimous. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for watching.